My dear friends, let's give some tzedakah. Let's do it together. We have Torah. We have tefillah, the prayer for our soldiers, for our hostages. Tzedakah for the well-being of all of us. And now for a Dvar Torah. And today I want to take you on a Talmudic discussion. So stay tuned. You know, in the beginning of this war, since October, the massacre which happened in Eretz Yisrael, and when the soldiers went into war, there was one mitzvah that became extremely in demand, and that's the Mitzvah of Tzitzis. You see, the talus cotton, not the talus, the big talus that we wear during the prayers, but the talus cotton, the tzitzis that one is supposed to wear, every male I should say obviously, is supposed to wear continuously, during day, even at night. And all the soldiers were requesting to have the tzitzis. And they felt that this is a great protection. Interesting, in the parsha of this week, at the end of the parsha Shlach, is where we find this mitzvah, which we read every day in the Shema. Vayamar Hashem el Moshe, and God said to Moshe, Daber al bnei Yisrael, tell the Jewish people, V'amar to aleim, v'asu lahem tzitzis, they should make themselves tzitzis, which means those fringes, where al kanfig dem l'doreisem, on the corners of their garment. And then the Torah says, and when you will see them, this will remind you of all the commandments of God, and you will do them. So this is the first time where we find in the Torah the mitzvah of tzitzis. Interesting enough, the second time we find it in the Vorim in Parshas Kiteitze, which by the way there we're talking about Kiteitze la milchama le'ivecha, when you will go out to fight your enemies in war. And there the Torah says, Gedilim taselach al arba kanfes kesuscha. You should make yourself those fringes on the four corners of your garment. Here the Torah specifies that it has to be a four-cornered garment. And then the Torah says, Asher tachasebo, that you will cover yourself with. In other words, it's a garment that you are wearing. Okay? So, this is the mitzvah of tzitzis, that in fact when a child becomes the age of 3, a little boy, we put him on the tzitzis, and from then on, always wears it. But here's the question. Is the mitzvah on the garment, that a garment that has 4 corners should have those tzitzis? Or is the mitzvah the obligation when a person wears a 4-cornered garment, that's when he must make sure that it has those tzitzis, those fringes? What's the difference? Oh, the difference is very fundamental. We know that every mitzvah needs a blessing. Before we do put on tefillin, we say, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvos v'tzivonu, lo niach tefillin. You light the Shabbat candles, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvos v'tzivonu, lahadlik ner Shabbos. We eat matzah on Pesach, al achilas matzah, and so on and so forth. Every mitzvah that we do, every commandment that we perform, there is a blessing prior to this. So when do we do the blessing? Do we do the blessing when we attach those tzitzis onto the garment? Or do we do the blessing when we wear them? Now, if the mitzvah is that it should be on the garment, that the garment must have it, then we say it when we have a garment, irrelevant if we wear the garment or not. If the mitzvah is on the person, then the blessing should be said only when we wear them. That's one difference. Another difference would be, what kind of blessing are we making? If the mitzvah is that the garment should have a tzitzis, then the blessing will be, there is a mitzvah to attach tzitzis on the garment. Al kitshiras tzitzis as an example, on the tying of the tzitzis onto the garment. Now if the mitzvah is for the person to wear them, then we say, either when we put on the talus, al mitzvahs tzitzis, or lehis atev b'tzitzis, on the mitzvah of tzitzis, or we say to dress oneself, to robe oneself with the tzitzis. Now, this is the discussion in the Talmud, and the final answer is, as it says in Shulchan Aruch, that the mitzvah is not on the garment, the mitzvah is on the person. And therefore, if you have a 4-cornered garment lying in your closet and you're not wearing it, you don't have to have tzitzis. But if you are wearing it, we have to have the tzitzis on it. The Talmud says the following, that the mitzvah of tzitzis is equal to all the mitzvahs in the Torah. And it reminds us of all the mitzvahs. How so? So first of all, there it says, the numerical value of the word tzitzis, tzadik yud tav, is 600. We have 8 fringes. As you can see, there's 8, and there's 5 knots, which totals 13. So we have 613 to remind us all the mitzvahs. But it also says that by wearing the mitzvahs, being enveloped in the garment, in the holy garment, this brings us in a certain state of mind, and it gives us the opportunity to welcome Shekhinah. So let's welcome Mashiach in the tzitzis.